John Fredericks is a conservative talk radio host and a former chairman of the Trump campaign in Virginia. And Bill Press is a liberal talk radio host and political commentator. Welcome to you both. So John, I take it you see this as a major victory for President Trump because he's draining the swamp of these Republicans who don't toe the line.
It's a major victory, Carol and Bill, for the American worker who is going to benefit by the American First movement of President Trump. This is a self-draining swamp. Somebody just pulled the plug on it. But the bottom line here is this is a political revolution that some of these relics in the Republican Party just don't understand, and it's sweeping them away like a tidal wave, and they can't figure out what exactly is happening to them. The party, the Republican Party of big donors, chambers of commerce, caviar, and Karl Rove is going away. That party brought us wars. It brought us lower wages for the U.S. worker. They shipped jobs overseas. It was a party of amnesty. They didn't stand up to Obama. They went back to their constituents on Obamacare, took their money, and lied. That's the party that Trump is changing through his movement.
Okay,
this is only the tip of the iceberg.
So this is, okay, so it's a clear victory in your mind for President Trump. Is it a clear victory for President Trump in your mind, Bill Press?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a victory for the American people either. I understand why John's confused, and a lot of people in Washington may be confused because it's so rare that we see somebody, particularly in the Senate, stand up on principle and not on politics. But these are two men who've decided, I think the key word is Jeff Flake's word, enough. They can't take, they just refuse to take it anymore, Carol. I think it's a moment of truth for the Republican Party. And remember, it's not just Bob Corker and Jeff Flake. In 1 week, it was also John McCain and former President George W. Bush, who did not just differ with Donald Trump on policy. They're talking about, they think his character is flawed. They think he is incompetent to be president. They think he's a danger to democracy, not to the Republican Party, to democracy. So,
okay,
my beef is, why did they stop there? I think Phil touched on this. If he's as dangerous as they say, then they should say, we're going to stay here and we're going to fight to get him out of office.
Right. So John, in your mind, why don't they stay? Why don't they fight? If they think he's unfit for office, why don't they, like, I don't know, begin impeachment or something like that?
Because they're going to get their clocks clean. Look, George W.'s brother, Jeb Bush, spent $150 million. He won 3 delegates. That's $50 million each. They just don't get it. You know, Bill can sit there and say, oh, these sanctimonious Republicans, oh, they're just speaking their conscience, isn't it wonderful? Look, they're speaking out because they couldn't get reelected. Bob Corker was not going to win. Jeff Flake was not going to win. Not only were they going to lose, they were going to be embarrassed in their primary. So they got out. My question is, why don't you get out now? Why stay there another 18 months as a lame duck, part of the swamp, swimming around? Why are they there? Well, they can meet more lobbyists, so when they come out, they can get their big $2.5 million annual jobs.
I kind of have an answer to the Jeff Flake thing. So, Bill, there are these rumors flying around that Jeff Flake is actually going to run for president. So he's going to fight the good fight.
Great,
he's going to be in the Senate until 2019, right? So he has some time, and then he's going to retire, and then he's going to run for president. So does that make sense to you, Bill?
I don't think this is a move for running for president, but again, let's just focus on what they have said. And I think this is a moment of truth, Carol, for the Republican Party. Whether Jeff Flake or Bob Corker could get reelected or not is really beside the point. What they are saying to their fellow Republicans is, this man is an embarrassment to the United States and to the world. More than that, again, he could take us into World War III with his reckless talk, and that we as Americans have an obligation to stand up. And the reason more Republicans are not, Carol, you just touched on the interview with Phil, is because they want more than anything. Mitch McConnell and company they're obsessing, right, with tax cuts for the wealthiest of Americans, and they know Donald Trump will sign that bill. So they will put up with anything. It doesn't matter what Donald Trump does. They will never desert him because they know he'll sign any piece of crap that they put in front of him. That's what it's all about.
Sadly, I have to leave it there, but I've enjoyed this discussion with you guys as usual.
Tip of the iceberg.
Thanks, Carol.
Tip of the iceberg. Thanks, John. Thanks, Bill.